Okay, so guys, I haven't done a video for a while, so I have a lot to update you on. The people talking are like, you said you'll tell us everything. I've already told you in previous videos. There are some things I can't say because I'm trying to pursue legal issues, so I can't say everything. I found the email that I sent to Father McShane before his reply to me. That was from I think 2008. So I'll do a video on that. I'm doing a lot better, thankfully. I'm doing massages. I put ice on my neck. Now you guys have seen me creating posts, updating different videos, or just giving you a little bit of information about what that video has. So if you have any questions about something, feel free to leave a comment. I wanted you to see my neck. I've been massaging it. In certain videos, you'll see this part was really swollen. So this part's still a little bit swollen, but not as much. I've been doing a lot of massaging on my shoulder. I've shown you in videos where this part was so swollen that compared to this, you could tell the difference. So let me just show you that now. You can still see that this is a little bit more swollen. You can see I still have swelling here. I had a hat on, and you can see that there's still swelling here. You can see that some of the swelling in my nose went down. So that the people talking were like, oh, she's going to make her nose look smaller. I mean, I don't think my nose looks that much smaller, but it used to have like a swelling over here. They intentionally swelled it so that this part would seem raised because one of them said, oh, that would make my nose look different. But then someone's like, no, what makes it look different is that it's this. Again, I've learned more about racism in these last few years than I have in the whole 51. So I'm getting taught about racism. In a video I did, I told you how they said my head slopes back. They said they prefer a head that doesn't slope back. So I wanted to show you guys that. Um, what else did I want to tell you, folks? Um, there are some other things I wanted to talk about. Again, they're always focused on the hair. I'm on the city buses, so if you guys see me in New York City and you recognize me from a video, you can say hi. And we all bump into one another. So a guy kind of leaned forward to open a window and kind of brushed up against this. This doesn't move. This is my hair. This doesn't move much. So it's like I just moved forward. So they're like, why didn't you turn around and say anything? We don't do that. I mean, I think what they wanted was a confrontation. So just to give you a quick update, when they were talking and they knew that I had the 2019, which I told you, I had the 2019 police report because of the bus scam. And it says harassment on it. So clearly, I'm not making anything up. They got really upset about it because, from what I'm hearing from them, most victims, probably their victims, can't prove that they're being harassed. I can't imagine a world where people can treat people the way I've been treated, a lot of other targeted people have been treated, and no one can get proof that it's happening until after something bad happens. Now, I told you in a previous video, I don't like to talk about what's going on in the news directly because it could affect the person, it affects the victims, obviously. So if I do something, I like to just post the news report, or I put it in a comment section so that you guys know things are happening. But I can't imagine a world where people are being hit with something. You feel the pain, you notice the inflammation, and no one believes you. And then the people closest to you turn on you. I can't even imagine that. So as I'm putting up names and putting it together so that, whatever happens, happens, they're really upset by that because it wasn't supposed to be put together. It wasn't supposed to be solved. But I think there are a lot of us out there that needs this solved. So as they're working on being able to predict what I'm going to say, and they get angry. They're like, didn't someone at Lacoste say that you had to change what you were saying? No, that person did not. The other thing is they said that in seventh grade, they couldn't decide whether sixth grade or seventh grade, but a new girl started elementary school with me. I'm 51 years old, but let's go into this. In seventh grade, and we became friends. And then they said that I was stalking her. Anybody who knows me knows I do not stalk anyone. I'm the person who, when you call me up, I'm like, I was just reading something, or I was just doing something. Or if I call you, it's to tell you something. Everybody, partly what they're trying to do is change my personality type. I am who I am, and that's partly why I say I have a sense of self. If you notice in these videos, we get to the point and then the video's over. Um, the other big deal about that was they confessed that they admit I did not stalk anyone in seventh grade or any time in my life. And they said, I hope this is true, that the girl recently said that was a lie. But she said it at the time. What happens in this group is that what they don't realize is I've had relationships with these people. And we didn't just go to elementary school together. We ended up going to Cardinal Spellman together. So in their world where they say they're watching me 24/7, they're always criticizing me. I would not have been criticized at the time for being a stalker. Then they said, oh, I was bullying her. I would not have been criticized at the time if they were always doing this. And they criticized me for complete lies. So partly what they're upset about is that because I'm getting better and I can move a bit, I get tired. Like, one of the problems that I've noticed with this is that I can be going really well, and the next minute it's like I just stop. My body just shuts down and I can't understand why. And they keep trying to push more. There is no more. And partly what I feel is that had they been doing this all my life, they would have pushed me over the edge. I think I've been able to sustain who I am because I had the right people around me. And once they came into my life, they were the wrong people for me. And I couldn't go anymore. I couldn't go anymore. And when you realize that, maybe it's not just because of age. I think I probably would have realized that in seventh grade if they had been around me. But when you realize that they claimed that something in ninth grade happened that did not happen the way they claimed it did. How do I know? Because they weren't there. I'm one of the people who were there, and so were the other people around me. And I think partly what happens over time is that they just said something, they waited too long. They waited decades because the people around me wouldn't remember, or they thought I wouldn't remember. They said partly of what they were doing with this whole dream thing was they would slightly change my memory. So what they do now is slightly change what I'm saying or the tone in which I say it. But the reason that doesn't work is that, they just said, oh, because this affects my tone. But also, I'm 51, so my tone has the tone of someone my age. And partly why it offends me when they say I don't sound black is because as I got older, I think my voice got deeper. And I think I've always sounded black, but definitely I sound older. And the way that they wanted this to seem was like I don't sound 51 or I don't sound my race. But when you're talking about when I'm speaking, my voice doesn't get that high pitched as it was. So they used to say during this time, that is, that I would say I really high, as though it's like I that wouldn't make any sense. And I can show you different videos where you can hear the change of my tone from when I was younger till now. I think I did a video like that, so I could just link that video if I can find it. But the idea that a 51-year-old's tone would be offensive to how old are they? If I'm 51, you should be 51 if you're talking about my life. If you're older than 51, then there could be a reason why you didn't say it at the time. But these people weren't talking about this at the time. If you're younger than 51, you wouldn't know. The next part about that is they said that they don't like me and they dislike me. That was it. That was the true confession. So I think I'm going to start a new series called True Confessions every time they've confessed something. If they were doing this to people they dislike, the true confession is that's the reason they did it. I said this before in other videos where I feel these are the types of people that let people get away with the worst things as long as they like you. The moment they don't like you, then it's a problem. With me, they never liked me. So I never got away with anything. I just didn't do those things. I wouldn't think to stalk someone. I would not think to keep harassing someone, to falsely accuse them of things, to claim that I was falsely accused of something and then I pursue that person. All of these things are very weird personality issues. I'll call it that, issues. And when you have these weird personality issues, it shows. in every single instance. So in every single instance where they claimed I was doing the wrong thing, I have proof not only from other people, but from the very same people that I wasn't doing those things. And that's a really strong way of explaining. They said, well, how could I say that these people said nice things about me and then prove it and now they didn't? Because that's the best way of explaining how it feels to deal with these types of people. 1 minute you're great. The moment they don't like you, or maybe they never liked you, then they go on their tack. And I can't live that way. Thank you for watching.